In this episode, can you stand life? Well, this man tried to stand for 7 days without sitting.
And on the flip side, where do we sign the petition to get wet wipes in all public bathrooms? We tell you exactly what happens inside the Met Gala. And sound the alarms, load management has made it to horse racing. Mike, hit the music. What the f*** is up, Kyle? And welcome back to another episode of the Funny Business Podcast. Life just keeps rolling on, one thing after another. We get snowballs thrown at us. We get the weather thrown at us. We get viruses thrown at us. They don't stop coming. They don't stop coming. They don't stop coming. But you know what also never stops? And I watched myself before I finished that sentence, is another episode of the Funny Business Podcast. We're back. Mike, well, first off, your first-time listener, welcome. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks for staying.
Appreciate you. Yeah, thanks for staying. My name is Matt, alongside with me, my best friend, roommate for life. Mike, how are you? How are things?
Yuppers!
That's uncalled for. That's uncalled for. You know what? Mike texted. Yeah, now we're gonna air it out. Mike texted me 5-minute warning. I went to type yuppers. I typed it all lowercase. I hit send, and it just made it all caps. So I just typed yuppers.
Yuppers!
So that was, you had to air that out.
All I could think of was just you yelling yuppers.
Yeah, I didn't. I just typed it in regular font.
Did you? Are you aware, let me ask, that an iPhone has like short form? So like if you type a certain amount of letters, it then translates into something. So the default is OMW. Do you know what OMW stands for?
On my way. Yeah.
On my way. So if you type OMW, the iPhone automatically updates it to on my way with an exclamation point. I used that for the first time a few weeks ago.
Why is it at the exclamation point?
I don't know.
Okay.
Add some character. You know, you can always assume tone and text in emails, but
little flavor. How come when I type LOL, it doesn't autocorrect it to laugh out loud?
Because it's not set in your thing. By default, the default one is OMW, which means on my way.
Got it.
But I'm great.
Awesome.
Yes.
Are you?
Maybe.
Are you sure?
I don't know. It's very fitting that today I'm having a beer, and the beer is called
New Trail.
Rained Out.
Oh wow, it was New Trail.
Yeah,
as you can, we talked about my sign. The sign is back. Stop raining, please.
Please, pretty please.
Yeah, we've had enough. Had enough rain. Today was a little much.
And as every typical white person would say, we need this rain.
We did.
Probably wouldn't be a time to say we need this rain.
Yeah, I was on the phone with my mom today, and don't want to call her out, but she's like, "Do you just see how green everything is?" And I was like, "Do you understand how old you sound?"
Everything's green in the life of your mom.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day.
Yep. Shout out all the moms out there.
What are you doing for your mom?
We're going over for lunch, and I offered. I was told no.
Okay.
So I don't know if that means I'm a bad cook, or if they already bought the steaks from Costco.
Trust me, I had to fight your mom to make a breakfast sandwich in your house when I stayed over the one night.
That's true. That did happen.
Just let me do it.
Yeah, that did happen. Yeah, I always forget about that day.
And it was
stay over.
So just back it up for our viewers. So when I got a new job, it actually when Matt was still living with his parents, Matt lived about a half hour away.
Yeah.
Compared to if I were to hour commute time back to my apartment at the time when I changed jobs. And Matt's parents were graciously offered, like, anytime you need it, if it storms, let me know. And I literally had to use it the first day of me being on the job because it was a snow and we got a delayed opening at my job. So I stayed over, and that was the only time I stayed.
Yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah.
I don't remember what we did. I think we played Fortnite.
Literally felt like a school. It didn't feel like a school night. It felt like a snow day that night.
This is like come home from school. Can Mike come over?
You can make him over.
Like, I did my homework.
Oh yeah. Well, Matt, we're standing on business today, quite literally.
Always standing on
Yes.
business.
So we had a report from the New York Post. Matt, Guinness World Records, people trying to change their lifestyles, whether that's, exercising or mentally or managing, wherever that goes. Matt, at some point, somebody said to themselves, should we be standing up more?
Standing
Matt,
up more.
Let me ask. Typically, you can even check your watch if you want to, your health app. How long? What's your typical standing day?
I usually hit my stand goal every day. I don't have my watch on, which is weird because I was just out of the house. I usually hit it every day.
Okay.
I feel like. So we'll get into what my week has been later on in the show. So this week's a little rough. Last week I hit it every day.
And what's your standing goal? Or how many hours have you stood?
12.
12 hours.
12 hours.
Very nice.
That's just like a minute for every hour. Yeah.
Right.
But 12 hours.
I have stood for 13.
Nice.
I know.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, Matt, a YouTuber by the name of Lucas Ball, also known as Pig Me, if I'm spelling that correct, Pigmie, pronouncing that correctly. This was reported by Tracy Schwartz of the New York Post. He tried to not sit for a week.
A week?
A week.
7 days?
Yeah, 7 days.
Oh my gosh. How do you sleep?
So there's a little stipulations here. It was to obviously test the claims that sitting equals death. So the spoilers, obviously he didn't die, but there are a few stipulations. So first, he could only lay down only for 8 hours a night. So he did give himself the sleeping grace of being able to sleep at night horizontally. But then as soon as the 8 hours were up, he had to get up and stay standing. Matt, you may ask yourself, probably the first question that came to mind was, how did you go to the bathroom? Matt, he was squatting.
All right. That's a good loophole.
Yeah. Apparently for the car rides, he had to float like a hoverboard human. So he wasn't sitting down in the car when he was driving. Don't ask me how that's safe.
What? You can't float in a car. What is this? The moon?
I don't know. Probably was like hanging on to like the handle that you usually have in the top left and trying to stay afloat. Hopefully he has short commute times.
Or he has a Tesla.
Yes. I don't know. We'll see.
These
usually those YouTubers do.
Yeah, these probably got so much money.
You may ask yourself, well, how do you do it work? Works at home. I mean, he's a YouTuber. He bought a bamboo standing desk. So that was able to stay standing for most of the time. Matt, Lucas reported that he had a 30% productivity increase. And by the time day 3 came around, things started to fall apart.
I could imagine.
Yeah. He had lower legs with feet pain. Sorry. He had pain in his lower legs and feet. He just had lower legs. He had pain in his lower legs and feet. There was apparently a constant hunger for him. And then sleep became a disaster. Obviously, because of how long he was standing, you can imagine him getting cramps, pain, trying to recover while sleeping, because sleeping is your best friend, trying to recover by that. And then by day 5, which unfortunately that was how long he lasted, he was slouching a lot. He had hip and knee pain. He had gained 1 pound, and his butt allegedly looked, quote, poppier.
It's a lot to unpack.
Tell me.
That. Yeah.
Tell me why. Tell me more.
Where do I want to start? I want to save the gaining weight part because that doesn't make sense in my head. That's some funny business science I'd like to dive into. Where do I want to start?
Would you want to stand for an entire day? Let me ask you that.
That okay. Yes, let's start here. No, I get tired when I have to stand for like 4 hours straight. Or like think of like when we're at an event and
Mm-hmm.
we're just like standing and mingling and talking like all night. Not even all night. It's like 3 hours. But especially if it's an event that like we're hosting, like you're running around like hours beforehand setting up. By the time it's 8 o'clock, excuse me, I'm ready to sleep for 12 hours. It's tiring.
I remember I stood from 7 a.m. to probably about 6:05. Like, and I'll even give it like take. Like, I was still standing after that, but from 7 a.m. to 6:05, I kid you not, my shins felt the freaking worst of them all because of how much I was standing that day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you don't want to mess with shin splints.
No, that was bad.
Very bad.
Do you think you could stand the entire day? Just like, I know we asked, like, would you want to, but could you, hypothetically speaking?
Oh, easily. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Easily. I think this is something that I feel like this is something that a lot of people can do. Excuse me. Um, I think it's easy to do mentally, like more than like a run, like a marathon. I couldn't do. Standing and walking, you could absolutely do. With the question, can I lean against the wall for a minute?
I did not see in the article that he was leaning against the wall. I think that is cheating, in my opinion.
Okay, but how does he hover and drive? How is that not cheating?
I think he's like holding on to himself
Okay,
while he is, what do you call it? He is
while he's
driving, which
driving.
is not really the best thing, but
Nope. And how is that any different from leaning against the wall?
Matt, I don't make the rules here.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just asking the questions. But I think so. I think it's easier to it's easy to do. You can go walk around, like go walk to the grocery store for an hour. Go shopping for like 8 hours of the day. What else can you just go for a walk in the park? And obviously you're gonna get tired of walking, but then like go get ice cream and like just stand and eat ice cream. Like I feel like there's a lot you can do. Clean your house. Like he said, his productivity was up. Now, I'd like to know how he tracked his productivity beforehand, or if he just made up that his productivity was up 30%. We'll never know.
I found out how, so he was not actually when he was driving. I'll have to double check. It looked like he was in the back seat from the thumbnail. I'm not going to try to watch the whole thing. Do you know how? Try to think the best way to explain this. Let's just say you go for a full squat, you know? Like you're
Yeah,
kind of
like a
curled
wall
up in the
sit.
ball. No. Like your butt is probably hitting your heels.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So by this picture, what he did was he did that in the car seat.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
Yeah.
technically, I will say, Matt, that's probably leaning, which is technically what I said was cheating, but funny business science.
Well, yeah. When you make a turn, you definitely like lean against the back of the seat, like that.
Yeah.
That happens.
Mm-hmm.
A question for you: what do you think about the fact that he said he was hungrier while standing? Because I would think it's the opposite. No, because I feel like when I'm sitting down, like watching a show or watching a baseball game or sports or something, I feel the urge to snack. But when I'm up around and moving, I'm not like, oh, I gotta have a snack right now.
Probably because you're using more energy. Not saying you're using more energy when you're standing, but you are in a non-typical regimen, which I think is what causes more of a snacking or more of a hunger because you are standing more. I mean, there's a reason why your Apple Watch tracks your standing, which is counting towards exercise.
Mm-hmm. Which then leads me to my question of how did he gain a pound? Because if you're on your feet so much moving around, don't you like you should be burning more calories? No, this is where funny business science come into play. He should have been burning a lot of calories. Like how much was he eating?
I'm going to admit that because I I don't know any better. But from what I can be aware of for funny business science is that potentially could come from weight distribution, because there's a picture of him of before and after, and like you see a little bit of the slouch, and maybe the slouch is what caused a 1 pound weight gain.
Could you imagine my calves after standing for a week straight?
Dude, your calves and your ass.
The ass. Yeah, the ass be popping.
Ass be popping. Put that on a t-shirt. Ass be popping, ass be popping. Funny business.
Yeah, too much popping.
Yeah, too much popping.
Would you want to stand for an hour, for a day straight, or a week straight, or even a day straight?
I wouldn't mind finding myself more standing than sitting. Like, I love my desk, but I think there's times where it's like, oh, like it'd be nice if like the desk rose and I could like stand and like work. But I like how it is, and I'm not going to change it. I'm not going through another rendition of organizing my desk again.
If we're due, we are due.
I haven't changed it, Matt. I have not changed it. This is real wood. Knocking on real wood.
So, do you actually like standing desks?
Sometimes. I think you need to have the proper balance and setup in order for you to have a reasonable standing desk. Like, I think right now with my setup, totally fine to do, but I think when the computer's really heavy or you don't have a good peripheral, your peripherals aren't doing that well, then that's when it starts to get a little annoying. So that's why I prefer sitting down. Just like stand-up comedy, just prefer sitting down.
Yep. Classic. I feel like if I had a standing desk, I personally would have the urge to like finish typing and then like walk around. Like I don't really feel like I'm the type of person that could work and just like stand at my computer for like 3 hours straight. I don't think that would work because I probably have like undiagnosed ADHD that I would just constantly do laps, and that doesn't feel very productive. I also feel like a lot of people that have standing desks, like they go in phases with it. Like they'll use it really heavy for like a couple weeks, and then they go like months with just sitting, which is fine. But
yeah, well, Ball now plans to stand a few hours a day, then sit when tired, and then sometimes you have to go too far just to realize chair exists for a reason.
Any relation to LeVar Ball?
By the looks of him, nah.
Okay, all right. Just gotta ask the hard questions.
Funny business, hard questions. Funny business journalism.
Yeah. Yeah, we should make a journalism company. Just like report news.
Breaking news!
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. All right. We will slide on in the second half of the show with a very special segment this week. We have Matt's Drunk Thoughts Stomach Bug Edition. So there was a victim this past start of the week. April and I, first we thought we had food poisoning, and then we kind of realized what we thought we had food poisoning from was too far in advance. Like we had it was too long ago. So we just had a stomach bug to start this week off, which was not great. But I had a lot of time to just sit and think, which is a dangerous time.
Not stand.
No, not stand. Nope. Thank gosh for 2 bathrooms. We'll say that. We both went to work on Monday and then had to come home. So that was not fun.
Yikes.
Yeah. But let's dive into it. I have a decent amount. Not all of these are going to take forever.
Okay.
First one, you forget how bad throwing up is until you do it. It's the worst. Do you have like one specific memory of like throwing up that's like that was the worst experience of it?
Yeah.
Go on.
I don't know. I remember your worst experience.
That's not even my worst experience.
Yeah, but worst experience for me being the person trying to take care of you.
Oh yeah. You want to talk about your worst? I could talk about your worst. I run a damn marathon for you.
Please omit this from Mike's best man speech.
Yeah. We'll talk off camera about that.
Yeah.
No, I from being sick and vomiting, definitely one experience that was just like, I don't even want to get into it, but every person has that one stuck in their mind.
And the stomach bug too doesn't help you. Like your body doesn't. Your body wants to, but your body just doesn't have it in it to do so. So that's why it's horrible to do so.
It got to the point where most of my ends came from the other way. However, the little bit that I did vomit, there was just not much in there. So then the worst is also just when you're like dry heaving and nothing's coming out, because then it just feels like you're just like choking.
Yep.
That's not fun. Next one, I'm just going to read this how I have it typed. Wet wipes in public bathrooms.
Okay.
We need them.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
We need them. Yeah. Son of a bitch. They also got to figure out a way so like people don't just like take the wet wipes. So you know how there's like toilet paper dispensers. You need a wet wipe dispenser in public bathrooms. Who says no?
Or like create toilet paper. Here's a genius idea. Take toilet paper and have some type of like wet dispenser so that way it turns into a wet wipe.
No, that's no. Think about what you just said. You want to make toilet paper wet.
Yeah, like a wet wipe.
Yeah, but you can't flush wet wipes. So I guess that's the other thing. You gotta make flushable wet wipes. Well, not all wet wipes you can.
Right. Why would they promote it on the packaging and not be able to?
Okay, but so are you talking about just taking toilet paper, like running it under like hand sanitizer? Essentially?
I mean, kind of.
Okay.
But like regular toilet paper, like if it's your like really crappy public toilet paper, we all know that. We've all been there.
Well, yeah.
You need a more thicker toilet paper in order to, or for it hold a moist wet wipe.
Yeah. I think we just need like dude wipes, which is a terrific invention, by the way. Dude wipes just needs to make toilet paper. Just sponsor every public bathroom. Oh
my God. I had a better idea. When you pull it out, it's dry, but once you start the friction, it's wet. Like once you start going in.
Let me ask you, how many times do you constantly wipe with the same toilet paper? So think about what you just said. You'd have to wipe like 20 times with the same sheet.
Literally the most f***ing gross podcast I think we've done. We go from dry heaving
how many times you wipe your
knowing
ass?
How to wipe.
This is, I think, the last one stomach bug related.
Oh, okay.
When you have an upset stomach, how come every mom is just like drink a warm Sprite or a warm ginger ale? How does that help?
Warm?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never been told warm. That makes me grossed out.
Hold on. You drink cold?
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. That's
no, but my mom always told me to drink warm ginger ale or warm Sprite.
Maybe like, I don't want to say room temperature, but like,
well, yeah, not warm. I'm thinking room temperature. Like not out of the fridge, just out of like the case.
Even that, I think that's still weird, but.
And so I was told it would like upset your stomach if it was cold. And then you also got to shake out the bubbles, and there's a lot more bubbles when it's cold. Obviously not shake up the can, but like you got to pour it in a cup.
Yeah.
And then take a straw Stir, stir, stir.
I just remember when I was living by myself how awful it was because like you didn't want to leave, like you just wanted to rest because stomach bug just like totally kills you in a
Mhm.
way. But yeah, not cool.
It was tough because like April and I both had it. Again, thank God for 2 bathrooms. But then it came time for dinner, and I'm looking at her like, who's gonna budge here first? Like who's making the food? But what is the science?
Go on.
Welcome back to another episode of the Funny Business Podcast. What's the science behind like Sprite or ginger ale? Why does that supposedly help your stomach?
I'm sure there's a carbonation. I'm sure there's something to do with the carbonation.
See, but that goes against my mom's theory that you have to take out the carbonation.
Well, look.
I'm going to go with there's no red 40. That's why. That's my theory.
There's probably ginger ale, like trying to find something that kind of swishes around what's in your stomach. Oh my God, this is literally going gross. Like something that swishes around in your stomach, but like doesn't have like all those weird chemicals that you drink from like a Diet Coke or like a Diet Pepsi or a Pepsi or a Coke or like a Dr. Pep. Like a ginger ale has carbonation, but it doesn't have all that crap to be in your stomach.
Yep, that's good enough for me. Funny Business Science, put the stamp on it. Speaking of, I know you're a Diet Pepsi guy. Are you still a Diet Pepsi guy?
One a day, baby.
That was sad.
Why?
It's just
I was a twofer originally.
That's true. That's true. Congratulations.
Yep. Now I'm down to one.
I actually had Diet Coke the other day out of a can.
Oh.
I've been a long time a 29-time Diet Coke hater. I didn't hate it.
I go back and forth.
I didn't hate it, and now I think I'm old.
I'm old.
All right, let's dive into some other things. Kevin Harlan.
Yes.
Best announcer in sports. I think he's top 3 of all time. I was watching the Knicks Celtics earlier this week. I would watch him narrate anything. Like anything.
He should narrate documentaries more.
Not even that. I would like to watch him narrate like a dad from a family of 5 take all the stuff down and set up at the beach for his family to come down later. Like just him like explaining, getting the umbrellas in and putting the chairs up and getting the towels. It would be electric.
Yeah. Thunderous now.
Or like him narrate like a busy Starbucks barista.
He does the NBA apparel commercials.
Mm-hmm.
That's
so good.
Yeah.
He's the best. His voice is awesome. If you've ever seen the video of him, he was doing radio of a football game and he's doing the streaker. All-time video. Yeah. All-time video. I'm also just going to read a sentence I have right off my phone. I think you know about this. I think we talked about this on stream last week. I hope the guy who fell at the Pirates game is okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Hope he's okay. That was crazy. Crazy sight. Crazy. I think he's moving limbs now. I think he's doing all right.
He's awake.
Yeah. What else do I have? Met Gala, overrated?
Yes.
I want to know why we can't see what goes on inside the Met Gala.
I think it's just a dinner.
Yeah, that's fine, but why can't we see it?
Matt, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Would you like to be recorded while eating?
I've done it before on the show.
Without consent.
What am I eating? Don't say a hot dog.
Dude, I had such a good hot dog this past weekend. Oh my God, this thing was huge. It was at our community group at church. Shout out.
So I did not expect that.
Shout out, Nate, for withering the storm and trying to cook us burgers and dogs for a community group outing.
There's by the way, I think in near you, the big city near you.
Dude, I'm already on it.
Okay, we gotta go.
Yes.
We gotta go.
There is a breakfast dog. There is just, it's amazing. We gotta go.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
I don't even remember what you were about to say, so please go ahead.
This is the 2025 Met Gala. Guests enjoyed a menu designed by Chef Kwame Onwachi, which included a mix of elevated soul food and fusion cuisine. For cocktail hour, items like cornbread with caviar, lobster rolls, and vegan lox were served. Dinner features dishes such as Creole roasted chicken with lemon emulsion, rice and peas. Oh, you would have enjoyed that one. And a fresh hot sauce. And additionally, there were items like papaya piri piri salad, barbecue collard greens with bacon, cornbread with honey curry butter, and a bodega special cosmic brownie.
Yeah,
so you're just going
fine.
ham.
Yeah, I'd be fine.
Roll. Just like
that's fine.
Mouth on it, just like ready to go. You want to be photographed for that shit?
Yeah, that's fine. Listen, if you get that dressed up just for 10 seconds on the runway, it's not worth it. I need to see what happens inside. Who do you think was best dressed?
I didn't see it.
You didn't see a single person?
Nope. Actually, I saw Saquon.
Oh, I didn't see Saquon.
Saquon Barkley, Sabrina Carpenter.
What are your thoughts on Sabrina?
If you, I don't even remember. I saw it and like, oh, that's Met Gala.
Did you hear about LeBron?
Yeah, he's got a Barbie now. Barbie LeBron.
Not quite what I was referencing. He does LeBarbie. He does have a LeBarbie. So he was like an honorary chair of the Met Gala this year.
Oh, hello.
He was ruled out due to a left knee injury. He could not attend due to his knee injury. Yeah, I'm being serious. His wife attended. He did not because of his knee injury. Also, by the way, you're gonna like this one. This is a classic LeBron. So Lakers lost in 5 games to the Warriors.
Lakers in 5.
2 days, like the next day or like 2 days later, LeBron's team announced that he wouldn't have played in Game 6 because of his knee injury. Wouldn't have played Game 6.
That's like kicking.
So basically, why did they lose? Well, he wouldn't have played Game 6.
Oh my God.
Classic LeBron. Next one, don't go to Hibachi if you don't want to enjoy the experience.
Wait, was that it? Was that what caused the stomach bug?
No. So here's what happened.
Okay.
That's what we thought at first. We had Hibachi Friday night. I had leftovers on Saturday. Monday morning, it hit us. It was too far in advance.
Yeah.
But the amount of people that go to Hibachi, now you don't just go to Hibachi to eat, you go to enjoy the experience. The amount of people, yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. The amount of people that just go and have like no fun and don't enjoy it, and that they don't interact with the chef, they don't laugh, they don't smile. Don't go to Hibachi. Question.
Okay, well, more of a statement. Are you? You're more speaking on behalf, like if you're going to a Hibachi experience, like with the chef and all that stuff, like
correct.
Interacting them is key, correct?
Yes, correct.
Like, but you can also go to a Hibachi restaurant and get hibachi, but not have the chef experience. Is that correct?
Yes, and that's actually another thing. Yes, that is correct. Yeah,
we did, like the last time we had hibachi, we didn't do the whole chef experience, in my opinion.
Okay. So you know the place that we went to. I told you.
Yes.
What's the name of it?
Nope, I'm okay.
Okay. We also wanted to go and not have the chef experience. They wouldn't let us.
Yeah, some restaurants do that.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Why not? They're like, well, you can get the rice and the noodles, you can't get the protein. How does that make sense? How can I get just cook the steak in the back?
I believe I still have a selfie on my Instagram of the time I was at the restaurant.
Also, the chef put his hat on fire. I've never seen that before. I thought his hat actually caught fire. He got me. He got me good.
Trying to see if I have this selfie.
Selfie
Nope.
from where?
Nope.
Trying to
I'm
get Mike
okay.
with a D's nuts joke for everyone.
I'm okay.
That's not understanding.
I'm okay.
Two more quick ones while you look for that selfie.
Can't find it. Nope.
I finally understand how to play Diamond Dynasty on Leave the Show, and I am addicted.
Congratulations.
Absolutely addicted. Thank you. Very exciting. I'm just addicted to ripping packs and buying and selling cards. It's awesome. Finally, Mike, this past weekend, Kentucky Derby.
Yes.
Sovereignty won the Kentucky Derby. I am here to announce he's a fraud. He is a loser, has a loser mentality, and he's not an all-time horse. Will never be an all-time horse. You're asking why? Your face is confused. So, Mike, when you win the Kentucky Derby, that's the first leg of the what? Triple Crown.
Triple
Great
Crown.
answer.
Yeah, sorry. Hang on. Matt, you could have given me a chance. If only you given me a chance, man.
Triple Crown. So, Kentucky Derby, Preakness Stakes, Belmont Stakes. Sovereignty is sitting out of the Preakness.
Freaking LeBron.
Yep, he's focusing on the Belmont Stakes. Ladies and gentlemen, load management has made it to horse racing. Just cancel the sport. We can't have diva horses ruining this sport.
They just trot around, act like they're big shit, huh? A lot of celebrity social influencers now invading the Kentucky Derby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How do you feel about that? I don't appreciate it.
I think it was just for the general folk. You know, like everybody came dressed up. Like, yeah, you made a little bit of money in order for you to bet and just kind of be there and have the fancy hats and all that. But I think there's a lot more attention now on our celebrity influencers, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
The ones I saw were, well, giving credit to where credit's due. Simone Biles was there. Livy Dunn was another one. And at the Met Gala, Livy Dunn was there. Young Gravy was there.
I did see that.
Yes. Who else did I see?
Trevor Wallace was there.
He was there.
Yep. Did you see they had a giant Zinn tent at the Kentucky Derby? That doesn't make sense.
I feel like that's a little out of place.
Yeah, just have a mint julep with some Zinn.
Yep. Easy stuff.
Yeah. Can we stop having events be focused on influencers? Could we just go back to having events and enjoying it for what it is?
You know, Matt, it's a great proposition. I think we're just in it at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say these signature events are actually catching up to what everybody's been talking about is influencer marketing. Like now these things that have been a long-standing tradition are now finding that they need to hit a certain amount of audience and a different audience.
Mm-hmm.
And they know that they got to bring in these people in order for them to be promoted in that way.
Yeah. Follow-up question. What year is it going to be when marketers and I guess executives come to the point where like they don't want to pay these people this money because maybe they're not getting the exact return on investment? And like basically, are we going to hit a time where like influencers lose their jobs? Because there's a lot of influencers that get paid a lot of money. They can't all be worth it. So at one point, when are these companies going to get so stingy that they're just not going to pay anything? Except if you're like an A-list celebrity, like a Super Bowl commercial.
I feel like these influencers, when they get older, because they may not have like that appeal anymore, it turns into this vicious cycle that they'll turn into their own agency. And then they'll have their own set of influencers after the fact. But yet we'll crawl up to that point of, so we'll use like Livy Dunn, for example. Like probably when she's 50, she's probably not going to have the same appeal as she does right now at age 23, 25.
Sure.
Somewhere around there. So she'll have her own agency supported by these influencers. And it'll all creep up and be like, you know, who's the owner of that? And they'll still have their 15 seconds of fame.
Mm-hmm. Well, and she's dating Paul Skeens. He's be a Hall of Famer.
Which I don't even know if that's even like...
No, go on, finish that statement.
I don't even know if that's even like anything like higher or lower. Everybody has seen the meme when Paul Skeens got drafted. Like, he looks totally stoked, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's like the baseball version of Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, it's exactly what he is. That's exactly what he is. That correct. Yep.
Aha.
He's awesome.
Aha.
He's honestly, I think Kawhi has more emotion than Paul Skeens. Like, did you see the GQ interview that Paul and Liffey did?
Yes.
That was kind of painful to watch. And I like Paul Skeens. I appreciate Liffey Dunn and her empire that she's built. That was tough to watch. Yeah.
Poor man being dragged in the mud.
I mean, good for him. He's got a bright future ahead of him.
He's a good ball player. I'll put it that way.
And also, people are the online comments of like, why is she with him? They clearly love each other. Very clearly.
And they went to the same school.
They did. They both went to LSU. Yeah. Yep.
Why are they dating?
Very clearly are in love. Yeah, they're dating. Oh, they're 100% dating.
No, that's what I mean. Like, why are they dating? It's like, I don't know. They went to the same school. Like,
yeah.
Why are Jen and I getting married? I don't know. We went to the same school.
It's crazy. I had another thought. That thought has come and went. Yeah, I don't think it's going to come back to me. It was a good question too. Damn. All right, that's it.
Well, Matt, I'm glad you're better.
It's back to me. While yes, influencers may come and go, and the age of paying ads maybe maybe it'll hit a stalemate, just like NIL. That being said, this would be a great episode for Dude Wipes, the sponsor.
The what? The Kentucky Derby?
This episode.
Oh, this episode
would be a great episode for Dude Wipes, the sponsor.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, Dude Wipes, if you're listening, Dude Wipes, I can't.
Dude Wipes.
Well, Dude Wipes, if you're listening,
name your price.
Name your price.
Actually, we'll name our price.
I'm okay with just a pack, man.
Yeah.
It's like, give me a pack.
They're awesome. Did you ever use them?
I have once.
Oh, they're so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, well, Matt, I'm glad you're better.
Thank you. I'm glad you're better.
Hi. We'll see.
Okay.
Thank you all so much for tuning in. You can find all of our good stuff at beacons.ai/funnybusinesspod. Big shout out, Morgan. Thank you for being our first purchaser of a long sleeve Funny Business t-shirt. John, I hope you're enjoying it. John said it is super comfortable, fits really nice, and hell, you know what? We might just make him a cover athlete for Funny Business. So,
yeah. Do a little photo shoot.
No, literally, I got a photo with 2 thumbs up with him wearing the shirt.
Oh, nice. Cool. Do we actually have permission to post that on social media? That'd be hilarious.
I did get the
do you have the media consent? Do you have the parent permission slip?
I have the agency consent of it.
Okay.
So yes. Yep. That is it. So, Mr. Matthew.
Yes.
What is your advice for the good people, the coworkers of the funny business world?
My advice: eat your leftovers. Eat them. Don't waste that food. We just had to go through our fridge today before we went grocery shopping, and a lot of stuff that we kind of just forgot about. So don't overbuy, and don't waste food.
Dude, I made cheesesteaks this week.
Ooh, what kind of beef do you just use? Like ground beef?
Flank. I buy a flank steak, Matt.
So do you just like shave it
I cut it into thin slices.
into thin slices? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Flank.
That's great. What kind of cheese did you use? This is a big question.
Provolone.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, dude.
All right.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. You got to use Cooper for a cheesesteak.
Recommended provolone.
Yeah, for meatball subs, got to use provolone.
Not that I want to extend this episode any longer, but it was presented in our church community group. Is a hot dog a taco?
Damn. You know what?
I said no.
Yeah. All right, but what about like a chili cheese dog?
That's a gourmet dog.
All right, let's spin it back. Is a taco a hot dog?
Is that how we find out what the real answer is? Let's spin it the other way.
Yeah, maybe. A hot dog might be a taco.
Yeah,
it might be.
And then I said, "Is a hot dog a cannoli?" And then we had to educate people what a cannoli was. So.
Yeah, well, cannoli is like enclosed in a shell.
Yeah, but you can enclose a dog too.
So cannoli is a burrito.
Oh God. And I think this is exactly how the conversation went.
Or burrito is a Mexican cannoli.
We literally just layered it one after the one after one after the other, and we couldn't find an answer.
You guys talk about your faith at this group at all?
That was a table gathering. The next time is a growth gathering. Which
okay, okay, good. It's good to know.
Anybody who wants to join, please let me know. Be happy to join us. You can do a table gathering. No obligation needed.
Okay. End scene.
Yep, end scene. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Until next time, we'll see you all in the next episode.
Stay safe, everyone.